What a beautiful shot from high above the Road America road course in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. We'd like to thank our friends at Smithfield Foods for the aerial coverage they are providing today. DJ, they are on their final pace lap. They'll be slowly coming to the green as they navigate the last few corners here. What's a driver going through right now?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, especially here early, they know how much rain has been here. You want to always stay on the asphalt, but it's of utmost importance today because you can see a lot of mud through that grass. You find yourself in a lot of trouble. The sand traps are going to be difficult to get out of. So just take it easy right here as much as you possibly can. But that's what a driver tells himself. That doesn't always happen. Once they see that green flag and an opportunity here, who's going to take this opportunity today? Is it going to be somebody getting that first Xfinity win that we're not expecting? Is it going to be somebody that needs it to get into the playoffs?
And to connect you once again to some of the numbers with unfamiliar names at the head of the field, the black car is James Davison from Australia, the 20 car. The white car, it's been to victory lane at the hands of Logano and Keselowski this year, but driving it today, young Austin Cindric in the 22. Then behind them, the 18 of Christopher Bell. And in row 3, the 42 of Justin Marks. Ben Kennedy in the 2 behind them, along with all of the regulars from the Xfinity Series trying to gain valuable points as they head toward the playoffs. 4 to go to get there, and then it is on for the 2017 championship. Slowly up the long hill toward the start-finish line, looking toward the starter on top of the flag stand to see for the first time this afternoon at Road America the green flag, and it is out, and they are racing at Road America. High-speed turn 1 and a hard left-hander. They take it too wide, and Davison is going to prevail.
That was a power move on the outside right there. I'm sure that Austin Cindric was just taking it a little bit easy. James Davison took advantage of that chance and really set sail on the outside for the lead.
Carefully navigating turn 3 and down the long stretch. A little banking through 4 to the right, and then down to tricky turn 5. Downhill, DJ. Very hard braking, downshifting in a left-hander.
Yeah, next passing opportunity for these drivers. But a lot of protecting. We're going to see a lot of blocking down in here. We're also going to see some drivers get in there a little too hot and start wheel hopping. And you can see there's a runoff area. We'll see more than one car there this afternoon.
42 of Justin Marks through to third. This area of the track is called Hurry Downs, and they get down to another left-hander turn 8 before the long winding carousel to the right.
Yeah, a lot of right and left right here, and as they get down towards the carousel here in just a second, it's a lot of braking to start with and then driving the car with the throttle, which that's short track racing at its very best on this road course. But it's not an opportunity really for passing unless you get a really great run on the exit of the corner.
There they go through the high-speed kink portion of the track that we talked about earlier. So tough to get off right there with the exit. You've just got to be careful as you go through. Down through the Kettle Bottoms portion of the track to Canada Corner. And a hard right-hander again.
Yeah, another passing opportunity. If you can get a good run and get through the kink very well, you might get a run there and outbrake someone into the corner.
The 48 of Brendan Poole making a move now on the 9 of William Byron.
Yeah, this is Byron's first opportunity to see this road course. He's really glad it's not raining. Said he'd never done that and wasn't looking forward to that opportunity.
Yeah, we had mostly votes of no on the rain question, didn't we?
Yeah, for sure that the ones that were praying for a dry racetrack, they won out today. I think that the guys wanting a wet course today were far outnumbered.
James Davison leads the first lap at Road America. Working lap 2 of 10 in the first stage. Here's Ryan Reed in the 16 with a move down inside Byron. He's got it.
You can just see how much that's going to play in today. That it's going to be an opportunity there to get down into turn 1, taking your chance to outbrake if you really made a nice run down the front straightaway.
Scott Lagasse in the 3. He'll try to get by Byron as well. And then the 2 of Kennedy looking for a way by both of them. Yeah,
Ben Kennedy's been solid here all weekend. A little trouble down into turn 5 a couple of times yesterday. And that's where he's headed right now. We'll see if he's able and learn some things yesterday about just how hard you can and can't get into this corner.
Attempting to take it 3 wide there. He thinks better of it. And they'll stay 2 wide with Byron and Lagasse. Corner exit so important. Kennedy's got a good one.
a lot of times that happens when drivers go in there too wide. Then they're both having to kind of protect and slow down a little bit more. You get a nice run off the corner, as Ben Kennedy did there, picked up a nice spot.
Ben Kennedy, the 25-year-old from Daytona Beach, Florida, picks up a spot behind his teammate, the 3 of Lagasse, and their teammate, the 21 of Daniel Hemrick, runs right behind them.
Yeah, Hemrick was very impressive at Mid-Ohio just a few weeks ago with his second-place finish. Led late in that race, and Sam Hornish just decided that was going to be his race to win and took it away from him. But expect good things today. He was another one day that told me, gosh, just somehow let this be dry. He said, I do not want to race this race in the rain. He was excited about this opportunity to race here, but he was hoping it was going to be dry as it is.
Saw some little wisps of dust or mud coming from some of the cars. Someone's been off near the kink, and Dale, the cars that follow through the next lap, they're going to collect it.
Yeah, they're going to collect it. They get grass up on there, and then that grass gets on your grill, and that's going to necessitate that you come and get that cleaned off because you can't make many laps around a 4-mile road course here with the grill clogged up. You're going to overheat the engine and then create more issues for yourself.
Up front, James Davison will turn 31 tomorrow and has a great heritage in the sport of auto racing. His grandfather was the first Formula One driver from Australia, and his step-grandfather was actually one of the ones who got road racing started at Goodwood in England. So he's got a lot of heritage there, grew up racing on the road courses himself. His cousins still race in the V8 supercars. And James is leading his first lap in the NASCAR Xfinity Series here this afternoon.
Yeah, and read some quotes where he has aspirations of wanting to drive stock cars, wanting to be in NASCAR. He ran the Indianapolis 500 this year, but has shown very well on the road courses so far and feels like that he has the skills to drive these stock cars.
Let's hear from Ralph.
Dave, DJ was talking about the grass on the grills and how that can cause an engine to overheat. I've had numerous drivers talk about the grass covering up the brake ducts as well. And when that happens, DJ, you can cook your brakes in a matter of a lap or two. And running this course with brakes that are not working right, that could be a nightmare.
Yeah, sure can, Ralph. And a lot of times it's not the driver that gets off that gets those issues. It's the ones that are behind it, directly behind it, that gets the grass on there.
James Davison leads Austin Cindric and Justin Marks. We're just underway at Road America. NASCAR on NBC is brought to you by Ford. We go further so you can. And by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. And today's aerial coverage is provided by our partners at Smithfield Foods. And so glad we've got it. The view from here of Road America is spectacular. How's the view from behind the wheel, DJ?
Oh, I'll tell you what, this is a great place. It's just unbelievable. I mean, you look at all of this and everything that a driver has to go through. Sometimes you don't get all the elevation change. You talked about as they were coming to the green, the huge incline that you have coming up out of turn 14. You can't even see the start-finish line for a few hundred feet. But it's just a great venue, and as I talk to these drivers, it's so challenging. It's kind of a mixture if they look at what they did at Watkins Glen, where you had some very fast parts of the track, and then at Mid-Ohio, where there's a lot of very technical parts. That's what these drivers encounter here with both of those.
See Ryan Sieg hitting pit road in the 39 car, had trouble on track. We talked about the kink, Dale.
Yep.
That is it. Highest speed portion of the race. Oh, and Scott Lagasse at turn 5 has turned the 3 car around and into the sand trap. And I'm not sure he's going to get it out of there. Rocket, my friend. Rocket.
Yeah, one more backing up he might. There would be some people that wouldn't mind seeing a full course caution about right now.
Here's what happened to Scott. Yep.
Yeah, this is what we talk about. Goodness.
He was 9th going for 7th, a double pass, and did not get it.
Now we know why he made the pass, because he wasn't going to make the corner.
And wisely, Elliott Sadler backing out knew that both the 16 and the 3 were going to be an issue. And now we are seeing the full course caution for the 3 car of Lagasse stuck in the trap. Here's part of the problem, DJ. Scott Lagasse, born in St. Augustine, Florida. not in Wisconsin or Michigan like I was, and knowing how to rock it out of there like you get in a snowdrift.
Yeah, you don't encounter that much in Florida unless he was down on the beach or something.
Yeah, well, that's true. That could be. He's done the best he can here, but it's not going to get out of that sand trap in turn 5. Let's get more on the 22 from Ralph Shaheen.
Dave, we talked about at the beginning of the show how Austin Cindric was all fired up getting into this car from how that ARCA race finished, and he went sliding off into the gravel trap. Well, Craig Irwin did maybe the right thing as a crew chief. All of the radios are scanned by each of the teams down here in the pits, just like we do as pit reporters, listening in to what the other teams are saying about their cars. They heard James Davison say that he is struggling with front grip on his lead car. They told Austin that very note, and that gave him something to go hunting for. They said, keep the pressure on him. He's got an issue. You can get him. Now that the caution came out, they said, cool your tires down and go get him as soon as that green flag comes out. DJ, sometimes all you need as a driver to get your head in the game is something to go fight for.
Yeah, that's all you're looking for, is that little bit of an advantage or take advantage of someone else's handling issues or where they may be struggling just a little bit.
Davison not struggling too bad out front, but Cindric now with a little more knowledge. Can he make the pass when we come back and go green flag racing from Wisconsin? Welcome back to NASCAR Xfinity Series Racing on NBC from Road America. This is the Johnsonville 180. Hey, bringing the whole family to a NASCAR race has never been easier or cheaper. Kids 12 and under are free for every Xfinity and Camping World Truck Series race on the schedule. Discounted tickets are also available for every Monster Energy Cup Series event. Visit NASCAR.com/KidsTix to learn more about free and discounted tickets for every event near you. And this would have been a good one. Lots for the family to do on the grounds of Road America. Right now, all their focus is on the big show. The Xfinity race cars on track, making noise, and currently under caution for the 3-car of Scott Lagasse Jr. was stuck down in the sand trap in turn 5 after missing the turn. They've got him taken out, and DJ, as we come through, working lap 6 of 10 for the first stage of today.
Yep.
We were thinking about possible strategy moves here.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of different ways to look at it and talking to some. Obviously, if they pit now, they could make it more than likely to the end of the stage 2. So you could stay there and then have yourself in a nice spot to do the things that you want to do. I think some others that need some work done on the car. We heard Brendan Gaughan talk about his car that they had set up for wet conditions. I think there's a number of others. Elliott Sadler maybe, and I think that even our own Parker Kligerman may be in that situation. So maybe some strategies played out for a number of different reasons here.
Remember, 45 laps today, stages of 10, 10, and 25. And NASCAR closes pit road with 2 laps to go. So as we come up on 4 to go here, some teams thinking about this. And DJ, we thought maybe 17 or 18 laps on fuel under green. So that's how that math works. 10 in the next stage, plus a couple here.
Yeah, and as there are challenges for the drivers, there's also challenges for the crews here. This is just like what they encounter at Watkins Glen as far as the pit crews changing and the way they go about changing the tires. So a lot of different things that they look at today and how they go about it.
When these cars come down pit road, they're going the opposite direction as is normal on pit lane on an oval. And you see it there. Drivers taking advantage, no doubt, thinking this is going to be the right strategy play for them. The first of them, the 1-car of Elliott Sadler, followed by Ben Kennedy, Daniel Hemrick, Cole Custer, and Brendan Gaughan, all heading down pit lane. We see Blake Cook as well, rolling down at pit road speed for safety. And the crews will be going over the wall to bolt on some new tires and fill them full of fuel, Ralph.
Waiting on the arrival of the 2014 winner here of this race, Brendan Gaughan, as he makes his way into his pit stall. The crew taking their time. They're going to shut the car down. They're going to raise the hood. Not 100% sure as to what is going on with this car. We'll get a report as soon as we get some answers as to what the story is with Brendan. Let's go to Kelly for now.
Elliott Sadler in the 1-car, they had made big changes overnight. Well, he is asking for more help, says he's tight through the carousel, and says his brakes are a bit funny. He doesn't have a lot of confidence in them. Ahead of him here, you see the 21 that was Daniel Hemrick. He is loose in the right-hander corners, tight through the left one, said he needed more straight-line drive. It was wedge adjustments for both of those teams and 4-tire changes today.
So that will shake things up just a little bit. The front of the field stays out. And you see they're still going to work on the 62 car of Gaughan. Ralph, you've got more now?
Yeah, basically what they were doing is they were taking everything out that had anything to do with the rain setup for the car. They had this car completely set up for the rain. Brendan, as we've joked about a lot over the course of the weekend, was doing rain dances, hoping it would be pouring here. Those were the conditions when he won the last time here. That wasn't the case, so now they're having to make the switch.
Making that car more compliant for the dry conditions. That'll be the goal of the 62. So cars on and off of pit road. The front of the field stayed out, and they'll get back to speed here at Road America in a moment. NASCAR's official Throwback Weekend returns to Darlington Raceway next Sunday. Cast your vote for your favorite throwback paint scheme at NASCAR.com/throwback. Vote daily and see who brings home this year's Best in Show trophy. There are the playoff standings for the Monster Energy Cup Series. And they're looking good with 3 drivers above the cut line and a couple below. Any one of whom can really change things with a win there, DJ.
Well, and we've seen those, we know all 4 below there, those from 17th back through 20th. Even though Boyer and Logano are the only 2 with Cup wins so far in their career, there's a lot that can happen in these next 2 races.
Pace car has peeled off and onto pit lane. That means the drivers are now approaching the Geico restart zone. James Davison, the black car, is the control car. Austin Cindric to his side will also hit the gas as soon as Davison goes. He's got to do it within the Geico restart zone. There it is. They're off, and Davison leads the field down to turn 1. Marks with a move inside Cindric. Here comes Allgaier in the orange 7 car looking as well. We saw Marks hard on the brakes, their car wiggling, and he'll make the pass.
Yeah, not quite clear there yet, but the great start by James Davison gave Justin Marks an opportunity. A little contact there, a lot of contact.
Cindric coming back across. He gets into the back bumper of Marks, pushes him sideways. Marks saves it, but Cindric hangs on to second.
Now that's pretty aggressive racing for this time of the race. I'm not sure that you want to make Justin Marks mad right now. He's got nothing to lose here today except trying to win the race.
Now Allgaier, Marks, and behind them, the 18 of Christopher Bell, looking for a way through safely through turn 5. They've got it. Crossover move by the 48 of Poole. Not going to produce anything right there. Uphill to turn 6, and then back downhill. And now, Marks by Cindric. I'm not sure we saw all that, DJ.
Well, might not have, but one thing that could have happened with the young driver of Austin Cindric, his first time in this Xfinity car, he might have been looking in his mirror to see just how close Justin Marks might have been to him, expecting some contact. Looked like he got in there a little hot.
You do see some damage on the right front fender of the 22 car of Austin Cindric after that contact on the opening restart lap.
Cindric's got a really, really fast car, and he's very, very talented on this road course. He's just going to have to keep those emotions in check. There's going to be some rubbing going on, especially on these restarts today. You can see that. That was just contact. Yeah, he wasn't giving Justin Marks a lot of room there. There's not a lot of room as you try to get set up for turn 3 right there. Don't know that that was warranted in that case this early in the race. But I think it's going to cost him in the end as he was looking in the mirror to see what might happen.
Side by side there, the black car is Bell, the red and white car, that is Reed. And now the turn advantage went back to Reed, but Bell has a position behind him. Matt Tifft in the 19, and then a good run so far for the 51 of Jeremy Clements, working around William Byron.
Jeremy Clements does such a good job on these road courses for somebody that we don't consider a road racer and obviously another family-run organization here. He really does an outstanding job in these 3 road course races.
A little further back, you see the 28. That is Dakota Armstrong, the 01 of Sheldon Creed. Creed actually won a support race earlier today in the TA2 series. So he's had some laps on this track. Now making the 01 of Johnny Davis Racing looking good.
Here comes Cindric back. Now he's just settled down. He's got his fast race car. So just settle down and do your job. You can see Justin Allgaier trying to come back on him there. Just don't get yourself in a bad spot with a fast race car this early in the race.
Can see so many vantage points to watch the racing here at Road America, especially down here in turn 5. Cindric is going to aggressively hang on to it. Allgaier trying for the crossover. And from a slow speed section to an immediate high speed section, and then a very delicate technical section, the round carousel at the bottom here.
Yeah, very technical part, and you can see Justin Allgaier get a little bit wide there. He opened up the door for Brennan Poole to get in here. tough spot to make that pass that Brendan Poole's trying to pull off right here, but now he has the preferred line.
Poole is going to hang in there and through the carousel. You can see the lack of grip there for Allgaier, and he will lose that spot. Kelly.
And Justin Allgaier already talking a little bit of strategy during that last caution. They decided they do not want to be the car on oldest tires at the end of the race. They want to have a little something to charge with. This is a team that not only sees this as an opportunity to go out there and get a win, they just like to get some momentum or mojo even back on their side, as they've had a string of poor finishes, some due to bad luck and mishaps, mistakes on their own car. So this is a team trying to build up some momentum with just a few races left ahead of the playoffs.
Notice up on the left-hand side, we're in stage 1. 2 to go now. NASCAR will throw the caution after the 10th lap here to end a stage. There will be a green and white checker displayed. The driver will receive 1 playoff point, which is very important. They'll also get 10 championship points, which could add up as well. And that is if you're eligible. That's the other thing with these front runners. James Davison not in the championship run. Justin Marks not in the championship run, nor is Austin Cindric. So there's a number of factors playing out here, including who's vying for what.
Yeah, but gosh, see a lot of racing here coming down the front straightaway. Some drivers that took the opportunity to pit. Some of them did. Some are still out there on older tires. Well, cost older tires. They're almost 10 laps old here, but making a lot of moves. But those guys up front also have, the reason they started up front was because of owners' points that they had. So those stage points that they get there will go towards the owners' points that they have. Oh, a lot of contact there.
Creed wanting by Clements. And Southern California passes South Carolina with let's see, Bakersfield represented here. The Mears gang, the 98 of Casey Mears, is through and takes advantage of that tussle. Creed from just outside of San Diego in the 0-1. Mears from Bakersfield and Jeremy Clements from Spartanburg, South Carolina. He'll get the position back now from Mears.
And you can see Elliott Sadler there in the 1 car who took the opportunity to pit during that last caution. He was he went in when he was 8th. Made his pit stop, made some adjustments, got some tires, and making his way back towards the front.
Final lap of stage 1. 17 cars did not pit during that first opportunity that so many took advantage of. They're going to want some tires and fuel here. But first, the stage end. The top 10 coming through include the leader, James Davison, now legging it out over second place, Justin Marks. How smooth he is, Dale, and that's the advantage when you've got a good race car and lots of talent.
Yeah, and I think racing up front at Mid-Ohio a few weeks ago really gave him an understanding of what he needs and how he could be better in a stock car racing at these. And you had to figure that he was going to come here and be a better driver than he was just a few weeks ago, and that showed the case right now.
Through the final turn of 14 at Road America, up the hill to the start-finish line, Stage 1 winner, James Davison. We'll see how they look going back through. Cindric faded back to 3rd, Poole 4th, top 5 for Justin Allgaier. And then Ryan Reed was able to root his way through for 6th. And the rest of the top 10 there, including 19-year-old Sheldon Creed from Alpine, California. Good run for him so far today. Lots more racing to come from Road America. That's just the first of 3 stages in the afternoon. NASCAR on NBC is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And a Toyota has started at the front and stayed at the front. That of James Davison. We welcome you back to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. So glad you could join us on a gorgeous afternoon in central Wisconsin. We've seen the first of 3 stages play out kind of like we thought, Dale, because Davison was so good, as you mentioned a few weeks ago, at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in his first start in this car, had the rhythm down, and then had the pole position based on qualifying being rained out earlier today.
Well, he did a nice job of getting the lead on the start, and then even after the restart, did a good job of controlling all of that, and just kept the car in all the right spots and did the right things here. But it's going to be interesting to see what strategies may be played out. We saw some strategies by Elliott Sadler and others played out during that first caution, and so obviously they're going to stay out during this. But will these guys come to pit road, or will they plan plan on staying out and coming during the green flag conditions.
There is the entrance. There's a green light just to the right. NASCAR has opened pit road. Guess what? Whole lot of takers. 17 stayed out during the caution period a few laps before the end of the stage, and now most of the front runners will be coming in. Sit down to pit road and Ralph Shaheen.
Well, waiting here in the Penske pit area as they wait the arrival of Austin Cindric. The big focus here is going to be on that hood of the car. They're going to keep an eye on those hood pins. If they're securely in place, they're not going to worry too much about it. Maybe just be able to pull some things out. The handling of the car is just fine, so basic changes there. Over to the car of Justin Marks. He has been handling a little off. Tight center, loose off. They'll make changes there, Kelly.
Meanwhile, Justin Allgaier's in that red number 7 to the right side of your screen. He was really struggling under braking yesterday. You see right there, they're making a chassis adjustment. And just ahead of him in the black and green number 20 car, that's James Davison, who led most of this race. He's struggling with front grip, though, for Goodyear Tires Sunoco Fuel, Ralph.
Back here at Austin Cindric, it's all about hand signals right now, calling for bear bond. That's Brent Wentz on his knees, putting the bear bond and some 200-mile-an-hour tape over where things were pushed in at the front of the Discount Tire 22. They've already got the Goodyear Eagles on, Sunoco Fuel in the car. They're going to put more bear bond on this car and get him back out, Dave.
So that is a situation for the 22 of Austin Cindric. Meanwhile, the cars that were on and off of pit road, they have to maintain pit road speed plus a little bit of grace, like almost 5 miles per hour from NASCAR, to be legal. The 20 car of James Davison was not. He was too fast near the end of pit road as he was leaving. So he'll have to go to the back of the field. That'll be interesting to watch. Not such a great situation for the Melbourne, Australia driver, who just won stage 1. Back with more racing from Wisconsin in a moment. NASCAR on NBC is brought to you by Ford. We go further so you can. Let's take a look at the Stage 1 results presented by Ford Performance. And you can see that Davison, Marks, and Cindric started up front and stayed up front. Davison winning the stage, but then being penalized for exiting pit road above the posted limit. So he'll have to go to the back, work his way to the front from there.
You see the 22 right in front of him, who
stayed for repairs.
Did a lot of repairs. So our front row, who had great runs there in that first stage, are going to be at the back.
It's an interesting scenario back up at the front as well. Brennan Poole on the left in the 48. Elliott Sadler in the 1. They had a coming together on a restart at Mid-Ohio. We'll see how friendly they play coming to the restart here. Let's head back down to Kelly.
As you were mentioning, James Davison starting from the rear. Now, obviously, he was apologetic when he learned that he had, in fact, sped on pit road. They realized it was at the very end of the timing line, so he just took off a little bit too soon. His crew chief now saying, hey, don't worry about it. Just go out there and put on a show.
Oh, it's going to be a show. I'd want to be a fan.
No.
See those fans sitting up there to the right? Yes, they are going to see a show when they come through the back portion of this course out of Canada Corner and back uphill toward the final 14th corner of Road America. And on up the hill, Davison will be picking him off one by one, as will Cindric. I wonder who's going to follow who.
I'm not saying either one of them are willing to follow anything right at this point in time.
It's all about leading. Right now, the control car is the 48 of Brennan Poole to the left. To his side, the 1 of Elliott Sadler as they approach the Geico restart zone and the resumption of the racing at Road America. See that red line on the walls? That is it. There they are. Poole fires off, but Sadler with a nice jump as well. Side by side heading to turn 1. The light blue car is Daniel Hemrick. Sadler squeezes by for the lead. Hemrick moves into second.
Great restart by Sadler and Daniel Hemrick. Hemrick back in a familiar spot from the last road course that they were on. That's second spot's where he finished.
And as you look at the field, a lot of shakeup there. Cars that pitted earlier stayed out here. Cars that pitted here, they're in the back of the pack. And drivers like the light blue 23 of Spencer Gallagher find themselves now up in the top 10. And you see Poole going for the position on Hemrick, heading into turn 5. That'll stick.
Yeah, that was a smart move by Daniel Hemrick. He could have cut it off there because Brendan Poole, that was pretty late in diving in there in that position.
How about Ben Kennedy in the red and black 2 car? He's come through. He's trying for second. I think he had it already. Poole wants it back. Braking, downshifting, turning left.
And you really need to carry a lot of speed there. It's hard to do with a car right beside you and one on your door. Makes it very, very difficult, especially these low downforce packages that these Xfinity cars have this year.
Riding that throttle pedal, feathering, now full power down the back portion of this racetrack and toward the fast kink.
Yeah, and this is going to be a difficult spot to go through there too wide.
They manage it. Hemrick's 21, now in front. Oh, here comes Kennedy back. You hear the squealing of tires. Sometimes that's a good thing and under control. Other times it's out of control. It looks like everybody made it through, DJ.
Yeah, that was a controlled slide is what we were hearing there. And that's the leaders that are doing that.
Great job by our crew here this weekend, including the audio folks. Heard every bit of that. Oh, off the track, Allgaier and Byron coming through side by side with Parker Kligerman.
Yeah, nice job by Parker there to get in and take another spot away.
Parker, one of the cars that pitted earlier and then stayed out under this potential pitting opportunity. He'll come across the line in 13th.
Yeah, and starting 39th, they didn't have any choice but to try to do something a little bit different and give Parker the opportunity. He's a great road racer, and just give him the opportunity to use his talents in this situation. You know, they just need a good, solid effort and to do something a little bit different than what the leaders were doing to put him in this position.
Battle for 10th there between the 5 of Michael Annett, the 19 of Matt Tift, and a third car in the picture now. That's the 16 of Ryan Reed. Of course, the 5 group this weekend working without one of their teammates. Pass along our condolences to the entire Junior Motorsports team and organization. Oh, as off the track goes Christopher Bell, telling the story of Adam Wright, mechanic on the 5 team, who was killed last Sunday night, and they race in his honor this weekend. Best teammate and friend a guy could ever have, we're told, and Adam will be missed. There's Michael's 5 car now fighting for position and fighting for his playoff life too, DJ.
Yeah, it sure is. He's inside that area right now. That's a good area. So looking for a good solid day here today. If he could get a top 10 run here today, that would mean a lot towards him making the playoffs. Saw Christopher Bell get off track in the 18 through the sand trap. Has it back now. The bad thing is he carried too much speed down into the corner. The good thing is that speed allowed him to go through the sand trap and not get stuck. And that is Ryan Sieg, and heavy hearts with this team as well. His brother Shane passed away earlier this week, and as you can see, the right rear has gone away on that car. They do not run interliners on these race cars, so he's slowly bringing it around, trying not to damage that car. Yeah, and I think that tire actually came off onto the course. We might have to get a caution here. Yeah, it yellows out. And the caution is displayed. Once again, the Sieg family grieving, and now Ryan not having the day that he was hoping for at Road America. Asked him how he wanted to remember his brother, and he said, I remember him as a great brother, a great friend, and he was racing before I was. None of this would be possible for me to do if it hadn't have been for my brother Shane. So Sieg has not been bad on the road courses. In fact, his position in the playoff situation right now is outside of it by 47 points, which is a little more than a race. But with a good run here today, could turn things around, and it just hasn't started out that way for him. DJ, let's see if we can call up Parker. Hey, Parker, DJ, you got me, bud? Hey, Parker, you with us?
I got you. What's up?
Hey, just checking to see how things are going with your car, but as much about that, how about the course today?
Man, it's just you don't want to be offline is the big thing. You know, if you get the grass at all offline, it's wet, it's slippery, it's really hard, and cars that go off throw up a bunch of mud, it makes the track slippery, so that's tough for us. We've had everything thrown at us. Had the shifter come apart, got that fixed, and just trying to hold on to track position. It's a little tough here. We've got a couple of issues in here, but we're going to do our best and hopefully come out with something great at the end. You know, getting to race this track is kind of like getting a date with your celebrity crush, but when she's not treating you nicely, it's like not even getting a kiss at the end of the day. So just hoping we can stay out here and maybe get that kiss.
All right, hope that things get a little bit better for you. We'll let you talk to your crew. Thanks for talking, buddy.
Thanks.
That is our driver reporter, Parker Kligerman, now navigating under caution, having a strong run, working his way up to the top 16 at Road America. Racing on NBC. Elliott Sadler is the leader. Brendan Gaughan in the 62 has decided to pit, and he's going down near Ralph Shaheen.
Well, Dave, let's keep an eye on this. If you remember, they came in before and switched from a rain setup to a dry setup. Well, they did everything but put on some Goodyear Eagle tires, and that is exactly what they're doing here. Of course, they will top him off with fuel, but he had not put 4 fresh tires on when they made that first pit stop. I thought that was kind of an odd move at that point in time, because had they done that, Dale, I would have thought he might have been able to go all the way through this segment, but maybe they're playing their strategy a little bit differently.
And I guess, that's a great report, Ralph. That maybe they, at the back of the pack, why waste them at that point, right?
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. It could have kept him out here, but you can see they still feel like they needed to do some work on the car, a little damage that he sustained there. So it's a lot of different strategies played out here this afternoon.
Hey, we're going to head to break so we can bring you some more green flag action from Road America. So while they keep repairing the 62, this good crowd will view the caution laps, enjoy their friendship, come back and see some green flag racing. NFL kickoff weekend starts Thursday, September 7th on NBC. It's the Super Bowl champs, New England Patriots, hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Then on September 10th, Sunday Night Football begins with the New York Giants visiting the Dallas Cowboys. The NFL season begins next Thursday, only on NBC. As we welcome you back to the Johnsonville 180, a reminder that this is Packer country, the Road America located between Green Bay and Milwaukee. And a lot of green and gold up here. You okay with that, DJ?
I'm good with that, yes. Absolutely.
Hey, they love their Packers and they love their racing, whether it's open-wheeled or sports cars, or this weekend a full complement of full-bodied cars, including the highlight, the Xfinity Series. Hey, back to Mid-Ohio. There was a rude restart here.
Yep, by the two guys that are restarting once again on the front row here.
Brendan Poole really didn't have the corner, but gave a shot to the one anyway.
Yep, didn't slow him down from going in there, but we can see here a little later on in the race as Elliott Sadler went in, got some tires, and made his way back up. Let him know that he didn't really appreciate that effort. Brendan saying thank you.
Just a little conversation you have when you're racing on the road course. So the car is now exiting the final corner and heading uphill once again toward the start-finish line. And we'll see what Poole and Sadler have in mind for this restart. Now, Sadler is the car with control. He is to fire off first when the Geico restart zone is reached, and then the rest of the field can follow. See what happens. Here they come. Sadler gets in the gas well. Hemrick in the light blue car behind him, and then back to third now, the 48 of Poole.
Yeah, I think it's very evident that the tires, Brendan Poole has not been to pit road, the only car here that hasn't been to pit road at this point in time. Tires a little bit worn, couldn't get going on that restart the way he'd like.
And just a little further back in the top 10, you see the 14 of J.J. Yaley now has moved up there. The 4 of Ross Chastain, the red car for Johnny Davis Motorsports, who said he didn't want wet conditions. He's got a good day to race today. Ralph with more on J.J. Yaley.
J.J. Yaley, a very successful and versatile race car driver in that black 14, Dave. 2003 won USAC's Triple Crown Championship, claiming the midget, Silver Crown, and Sprint Car titles all in the same year. They made it a usual and smart move on their pit strategy. They came in just before the end of the first segment, pitted, tires and fuel, very happy with their setup. That gave them great track position for now. So they are feeling really good about their race car, as Daniel Hemrick, obviously, is feeling good about his as well, since he has moved into the lead.
Yeah, nice move by Hemrick. Yaley in fifth, and the round goes to 23 of Gallagher. We were just noticing as we went back to green, the 27-year-old from Las Vegas was having a strong run and up in the top 5, DJ.
Yeah, he made a nice run, but got in into turn 5 a little bit hot. That lost him a couple of spots, and then I don't know if there was contact there, but going to lose a few more spots. Daniel Hemrick, see Ben Kennedy right there. These Richard Childress racing cars, they come to these road courses ready to go.
Mentioned earlier today, Richard Childress Racing as an organization has won here the last 3 years, going for 4 in a row. 21 and 2 car among those entered here today. The 62 of Brendan Gaughan as well, and the 3 of Scott Lagasse Jr. There you see the 00 of Cole Custer for Stewart Haas Racing. Oh, that's bad news for Ernie Francis Jr. That 13 car is smoking. First start for that young man from South Florida, a 3-time Trans Am Series champion, trying to find his way into the NASCAR ranks, starting with today.
It has all the makings of a possible missed shift there that might have done something to the engine or transmission, or both.
Tough possible ending for Ernie there. As we look further up front, Ross Chastain has gotten 4th away from J.J. Yaley. Also noticing Brendan Poole has finally hit pit road here on lap 17. So Poole gave up a front running spot. Hemrick outright took the lead in that blue 21 car. Kelly?
There you see Brendan Poole has just finished up his pit stop. This is a team that is sticking to their plan of a 2-stopper. They're going for a 2-stopper. Brendan Poole has been really happy with his race car. Didn't ask for any changes. We'll see how this one plays out for the 48.
GJ, explain a 2-stop race for these guys.
Yeah, so they're at this point in time now. Obviously, nobody can make the entire last segment. That's 25 laps. See a battle for the lead right here. And him throwing a little block on Elliott Sadler. I don't think Elliott's going to take kindly to that. See a little bump to the rear bumper there.
Made a little room for himself, but gave Hemrick the chance to recover, which he did. And Ben Kennedy waiting in the wings in the 2. Great action up front at Road America. As 40 cars started the day, several have found problems. Now look at Ross Chastain. What a lot of speed in that 4 car this afternoon.
Yeah, doing a great job. He was really excited if it wasn't going to rain about his chances. He ran well at Mid-Ohio. Didn't get the finish that he was looking for, but had a really solid day.
2 wide, 2 by 2. Kennedy and Sadler fighting it out. And here comes Chastain, making it 3 wide for a moment, and Ross is going to go through and pass Sadler.
See Ryan Reed trying to make that pass. Here comes Justin Allgaier.
And Reed with a little contact with Sadler. Allgaier in the red number 7 making his way on the outside.
And look who's making his way back towards the front. James Davison in that 20 car already, along with Justin Marks.
There it is, the black and yellow 20. Meanwhile, up front, Hemrick trying to get away. Look at this move, trying to make passes coming down to turn 1.
Oh, Ryan Reed a little too hot in there.
And he's going to spin 16 around in turn 1. Tough to get these cars refired if you lose it, DJ, and he does.
Yeah, he gets it refired, but just obviously they played some strategy, got themselves in a good spot there, and all it takes is one mistake.
Lost all of that track position racing near the front of the pack, and look at the damage to Allgaier's car.
Yeah, Reed was just way too hot getting in there and created issues for himself. Justin Allgaier a little bit there. See the damage on the 1 of Elliott Sadler.
Suffice it to say, a little rough early on here at Road America.
Well, we expect a lot of pushing and shoving. We haven't been disappointed.
Let's get an overhead view of what just took place here. Oh, another problem for Scott Lagasse. This time he's on a paved area and gets the 3 righted. Remember, he was off earlier in the kitty litter and got the 3 car back around. He's rolling again right there in front of David Starr. That's what happened to Ryan Reed.
You can see he has a big run, but just too far into the corner. Runs into the back of the 7 and then has no choice, but there's just not enough grip in the tires for the amount of speed that he was trying to carry into turn 1.
That damage on the 16 is not going to be bad enough to prevent him from racing up near the front again, but he's got to get his track position back, Dale.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to do that. You know, he's already made the tires mad here with everything that went on. You spin, then he had to spin the car around, so he heated up the rear tire there. So just a lot of things working against him at this point in time.
There's that black and yellow 20 of Davison we talked about, racing with the 42 of Marks. That battle right now is for 7th.
And we see we're getting down to the end of stage 2 here with just a couple of laps to go. It's very impressive that James Davison was able to be patient enough, but yet aggressive enough. Whoa, we've got a car stopped on the inside right there.
That is Tim spot. Yep, Tim Cowan. He was on pit road just a few laps ago. Team working on his vehicle. And now it's come to a stop at turn 14. Surprise, to say the least, to a number of those drivers as the white flag is out for the final lap of stage 2. Hemrick is several car lengths out in front of Ben Kennedy in the 2. Marks taking a peek for another position. Really doesn't need to force it here. Mark's not in the championship picture. His goal is the end of the race, victory lane.
End of the race, yeah. No reason to take any chance, any spots you can make right now, because there's still some strategies to be played out. So there's no reason on this last lap of this second stage to do anything that would put yourself in a bad spot or lose all the track position that you got. But he's going after that anyway, trying to get 2 spots here.
He is going to do it. Gets by the 4 of Chastain. And Davison is going to move through too, and there's contact, and contact again. And off goes the 42 of Marks. 22 of Cindric is around, trying to avoid. And a lot happened right there. And I'm going to say some of it was out of frustration, Dale.
Well, frustration and just not thinking about the position that you're in. You're coming to the end of the stage. Those positions that you could possibly make right now are going to do you no good in thinking about the long term, the end of the race, which is what you came here to do, is try to win.
As other cars try to battle each other for those positions, the crimped up fender now of the 20 car, very obvious. You see Cindric got it spun around and put in the right direction. But a whole lot happened there, exiting turn 5. And then coming uphill to the left-hander at turn 6.
We've seen a lot of cars out here smoking. We saw the 13, the 01 had a lot of smoke coming from it back around turn 5 and turn 6. So could be some fluid, some oil down on the racetrack that's creating part of this.
The 40 car did get back to pit lane of Tim Cowan, so turn 14 is clear. And as they come toward the checkered and the end of stage 2, there will not be a car parked where it was on the previous lap. Final corner, right there. Checkered flag for this man, Daniel Hemrick, winning stage 2, his second stage win of the 2017 season.
And Ben Kennedy there in second spot. What a great run for him. Very impressive. He ran well at Mid-Ohio also, but sustained some damage late.
See the rest of the top 10 now. Tiff, Clements, and gone. Mears made it to 9th, and Blake Cook, winner of one of the stages at Mid-Ohio.
Yep.
Another good road course race for him.
Another driver trying to secure a playoff spot, so any points are a help there. But see a lot of damage to the 20 car right here.
Let's get a couple of looks at what happened to include the 20 car, who is now on pit road for repairs. This is coming uphill.
Yeah, it looks like a little contact there with
Chastain and Marks.
Yeah.
Yep. That seems to be what got it started.
You know, Marks, he didn't do anything that it looked like that created an issue getting down into that corner. I guess Ross Chastain's maybe a little bit upset.
Felt like he had one of his fenders in there, and Marks came back across, and Davison was just an innocent bystander, as was Cindric in the 22.
Yeah. I don't think Cindric got a lot of damage. You can see just crazy racing here for the last lap of the stage that, you know, for a number of the drivers right there, that it wasn't going to mean anything to them as far as the points go.
Yeah, Davison
and Marks had gotten themselves back in a really, really good spot to go challenge for the win in this race. And now that's being taken away with too much damage, I would assume, to the 42 and the 20 to be able to challenge here.
Now we'll see. They're going to put it back together as best they can. Chip Ganassi team working hard to get Justin Marks righted. Everything going right now for Daniel Hemrick. Good run for him to win stage 2.
Yeah, you see that they are, in fact, they've got the 20 going back. The radiator is cracked, so that's the end of the day. What was a promising day for James Davison.
How about that?
Yeah. I mean, literally what we've seen here, the fastest car here today. I mean, he made his way from the very back after the speeding penalty on pit road. And we talk about this every weekend, Dave, whether it's Xfinity Series or in the Cup Series. You make those mistakes on pit road. They might seem pretty innocent at the time that, okay, all you got to do is go to the back. But it puts you in positions you would not have been in if you hadn't have gotten that penalty.
Looking down at the entrance to pit road, and there was a little bit of indecision momentarily for Elliott Sadler. He decided to stay out. His teammate Justin Allgaier, who certainly needs some repairs on that 7 car, comes to pit road along with the 51 of Clements and the 11 of Cook.
Yeah, a lot of things that you're thinking about here. I think Sadler's thinking, we talked about 2-stop race earlier for the 48. I think Sadler didn't put themselves in a position to think that they're going to come here early in stage 3, probably in the first 5 or 6 laps of that, and get tires and then be ready to go to the end.
Michael Annett is on pit road, Parker Kligerman, Dylan Lupton, Cole Custer, a whole host of others. So many cars here on lap 21 coming to the pits.
What this is going to set up, Dave, is a number of times throughout this final stage is that we're going to have tires or cars on different tires, and that's certainly going to make the racing exciting too. Ralph?
Well, there's another challenge to pitting here at Road America, and it just bit Austin Cindric in the 22. Greg Irwin at the top of the pit war wagon can't see over the hill all the way down to where the pit entrance is coming out of turn 14. It's 846 feet from the entrance of pit lane all the way to the first pit box, and it's all uphill. So he missed the opportunity to try to get Austin on pit road at the very last second. Said, stay out, stay out, stay out. So now their pit strategy for the final portion of this race is set.
That's the update on the 22 of Cindric. When we come back to Road America, we'll set up the final stage and the opportunity to go to Victory Lane at Elkhart Lake. Aerial coverage provided by our partners at Smithfield Foods. Don't forget, weekdays at 5, NASCAR America. And this week from the Hall of Fame in Charlotte, Wednesday at 5. Special throwback crew chief edition with legendary crew chief Dale Inman, 2018 Hall of Fame inductee Ray Evernham, as well as NBC's own chief Steve Letarte. The Hall of Famer Dale Jarrett will be there as well. NASCAR America live from the Hall of Fame Wednesday at 5 on NBCSN. So Dale, as soon as our weather apps sort of cleared the day for us, it appears that there are some sprinkles on the racetrack, and we mentioned how large the facility is here. Just about 600 acres, 4-mile racetrack. It can rain in one part of the track and not another. And NASCAR has told the teams that that is indeed the case and have declared what they call a damp racetrack. Now, we look at the radar, and there's barely anything there. But what does a damp racetrack give the teams the option to do? It
gives them the options to go to the wet tires if they so desire. But it's not. That would be a choice you'd make. You're not going to put them on. I mean, the majority of the track right now is in good shape. But NASCAR will make a decision here if they're going to go back to green with the slicks. If you have any dampness around, you're going to have your hands full on this racetrack.
You'd have to tiptoe. So not likely. And they're looking at the same radar or similar radar that we are, and they don't see a large band of showers in the area.
Yeah, that radar doesn't do a lot of good whenever it is raining outside. You can look all you want, but these drivers will tell you when they see wetness on the track and on their windshield, that gives them something else to look at and think about.
So under caution, let's take a look at the action we've seen here so far today. Daniel Hemrick leading now, but that wasn't always the case. He started early in the day with some action in the kink. Ryan Sieg off track, in trouble for the 39. Scott Lagacy had trouble in turn 5, got stuck in the sand to bring out a full course caution. That sand trap there for safety saved his car, but caused the caution to come out. And James Davison wins stage 1.
Yeah, led all the laps there, got a great start and restart.
Problem was he got caught for speeding on pit road, had to start the second stage at the rear. Stage 2 began with these cars up front and Ryan Reed going for a bit too much in turn 1.
Yeah, got in there a little bit hot into the back of Justin Allgaier. Spun out, lost all of his track position at this point in time.
And then heading down into turn 6 uphill. A lot of action as Chastain tried to make a way through the 42 of Marks. The 20 of Davison gets collected. Cindric gets spun around, but biggest damage for Davison, who is now out of the race.
Yeah, and Davison really did nothing wrong there. He's just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But Daniel Hemrick did everything right in Stage 2. Gets that stage win.
Yep, chased to the line by Ben Kennedy, but he couldn't get around him. And Hemrick goes on and wins the second stage in Elkhart Lake. There you see the playoff standings as they are at this time. We'll award points at the end of the day, and we'll see how it pans out. But right now, Michael Annett on the bubble in a good spot, holding on to that 12th position with 3 races to go after today. Ralph?
Well, we've got the word on the strategy for J.J. Yaley. As you remember, he's been running pretty good here today. They've been extremely happy with the car. They last pitted just before the completion of the first segment. Right now, J.J. is shown in 4th place. Talked to the crew. They said, we're going to stay out until lap 26. Then we're coming in, pitting, still no changes to the car, slap on some new Goodyear tires, some more Sunoco fuel, and going back out. That's the strategy card they're going to play. They're hoping it works here this afternoon.
And Ralph, we're thinking that that's a possibility for some others as well, because we were talking earlier, about 18, 19 laps on fuel, that would get him to the end. And others will have that same opportunity if they want it.
Yeah, 19 laps might be pushing it, but they're counting on some caution laps at the end of this at some point in time. And they're already actually getting some caution laps here. So that will, as far as when they could look at coming. So if they need to go a little bit later, probably might even see somebody try to do things a little bit differently, possibly come a little bit earlier than that because of how crazy this has been, and expecting some more caution in these last 20 laps.
How about this guy? Brendan Gaughan has repaired that race car, has made a couple of adjustments to it, and has passed a lot of race cars today, and hoping to have a much better day today than he has in the last 2 weeks. It's been rough, and he's been near that cutoff line, way too close for his comfort.
Gaughan in a tough spot here as far as racing for points, but knows what the win could get him to. How much is he willing to put on the line right here?
Green is out in Mid-Ohio. Brendan Gaughan going wide. Does he keep it under control? Somehow manages to save it, but falls back.
I think that's just hard racing right there, and both drivers trying to make sure that as he came out of turn 1, they were the one out in front.
The win opportunity has vanished for Brendan Gaughan.
Maybe the 62 was not happy with the 22 shoving him off the racetrack there in turn 1.
We're racing at Bristol. In the top 12 will advance into the playoffs right now. Brendan Gaughan, 12th.
We've got a caution, guys. 62 in the wall.
24 just got us again, guys.
Unfortunately for the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. Talk about wrong place, wrong time.
You all right?
Last couple weeks been driven with no respect, and you know, we put ourselves back in a decent spot, and we'll go to Road America, we're going to win that sucker. This is Road America, man. I'm going to go fast, we're going to win it, and we're going to stay in front of everybody and not have to lay a fender on nothing.
Made something near a guarantee as well when he talked to you guys on NASCAR America this week. And he's certainly in position to do that as he currently runs 6, Ralph.
Just talked to the crew chief for the 62, Shane Wilson. He's all set. They're going to come in lap 30 to 31. No big changes to the car, just fuel and tires, and get them up on the wheel.
Coming to the resumption of the race up the hill. Pace car is off. They'll come back to the Geico restart zone. The leader, Daniel Hemrick, having won stage 2 with Ben Kennedy, who was closing on him at the end there. They'll both get the green and go back to racing at Road America. Strong start for Hemrick. Here's the dive into turn 1. And he will clear, and now Ben Kennedy will give chase in the 2. one of the highest speed portions of the racetrack, coming down to a very hard braking, shifting area. Everyone trying to get it right. 2 and 3 wide behind the leaders.
Yeah, nice move by J.J. Yelly to take that third spot away from Elliott Sadler. That's Matt Tift also challenging Sadler there as they go up to turn 6.
So many ways you can look, and remember, this is the final stage. This will be for the race win, but it's a long ways away. 22 laps to go.
Sadler used all the racetrack there, and that got Tift out on the curbing. Lost a little bit of grip there. House got it right and headed in the right direction. We were talking back to Brendan Gaughan, that strategy of waiting to lap 30, 31. That's waiting pretty late to utilize your fresh tires that you might get there and for things to happen. But they might be setting themselves up for a later overtime situation that what we've seen with the road courses so far this year might be a real possibility.
Christopher Bell runs 8th in the 18 car, Kelly.
Remember, we saw him have a little off-track excursion earlier, and he has regrouped. This day, this race is really all about learning for the young kid who only has 2 previous starts in the Xfinity Series. He also said he was wanting to go out there and have fun. So under one of the cautions, his crew chief asked him just that, "You having any fun?" He said, "Yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it." His only issue right now, he's a little bit frustrated with his brakes. He feels like he can't brake like the rest of the field. So that's the only kind of hardship Christopher Bell's dealing with right now.
And Kelly knows this. He is the leader in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. That's his full-time job. This is the fun part of the job, is he's going to get a challenge here from Austin Cindric. Already 4 wins on the year for Christopher Bell, and eyes toward that championship.
Yeah, and to get a ride like this 18 car, really nice to be able to do that. Cindric made the pass there, but Christopher Bell coming back, trying to take that spot away.
Dicing between the 18 and the 22, and Cindric's going to keep it. Comes William Byron with a nice job in the 9. 9th position for him.
3 young drivers there that we'll be hearing a lot about in years to come. And, of course, Byron moving on to the Cup Series next year. Has his 3 wins this year here in the Xfinity Series.
We see him there in the 9 car. William, the 19-year-old from Charlotte, growing up, lived close enough to Jimmy Johnson to trick or treat at his door, and then began his racing career online, did all the work that he could do there, and then worked his way through the Legends cars and late models. Got a ride with Junior Motorsports, Kyle Busch Motorsports, and then back to Junior Motorsports this year, going for the Xfinity Series Championship. Yep, off track there for Clements, I believe it was.
Byron doing a nice job here. Road course racing wasn't something he had done a lot. You can see right there Matt Tift coming back and taking that spot back away from Elliott Sadler. Austin Cindric looking to do the same thing. Sadler hadn't been on pit road in quite a while, and so I think his tires are pretty much used up. He'll be looking to get to pit road here pretty soon.
Down through Canada Corner, the 12th turn of 14 at Road America. We're going to step away, but you won't miss a thing, because we're going to go NASCAR nonstop as Daniel Hemrick leads the field at Elkhart Lake. Welcome back to the Johnsonville 180 from Road America. Make sure you catch all the action of NASCAR and NBC with the NBC Sports app. Get closer with alternate camera angles, driver stats, and track information anytime, anywhere. And thanks to the beauty of NASCAR nonstop, you saw a lot of action while we NASCAR nonstop. You saw a lot of action while we were away. Saw Dylan Lupton and Justin Marks get.
Hemrick kind of worn out the rear tires. Looked like he was having a hard time accelerating, but Ben Kennedy doing a really, really nice job. So is Austin Cindric. He's driven up to third. He's by Brendan Gaughan there.
Kennedy now trying to put some distance between himself and the rest of the field. Ben, the 25-year-old great-grandson of NASCAR's founder, Bill France, seen this leader's what he likes most, but that's a big competition behind him for the next spot.
Yeah, he was trying to make a block there, but really didn't have the proper angle to get into the corner, and that cost him the front spot.
Cost him the lead to Daniel Hemrick again. Hemrick back to the point, and now the 2 of Kennedy's going to get a challenge for second. Cindric is going to have it, and Ben's going to rest for the moment. Oh, in trouble for the 48 of Brennan Poole. He's gotten it spun around. That's Canada corner. That's the 12th of 14 on the track. And to pit road come 2 of the 3 front-running Richard Childress Racing cars. The 21 of Hemrick, the 2 of Kennedy, and it appears that Brendan Gaughan will stay out for the moment, their teammate.
They were talking about Brendan Gaughan getting on pit road 30-30.
Let's head down to Kelly.
And how about the job here of Ben Kennedy? When I checked in with him before the start of this race, he kind of shrugged his shoulders and said, I don't really consider myself much of a road racer. I'll be happy with the top 10, and if I stay on track. He's been quiet on the radio, so it seems like he's pretty happy with the 2. Meanwhile, the 21 there of Daniel Hemrick, he's asked for his crew to continue to make changes in the same direction that they did last time on pit road, which was, well, there you see it in the right rear, a wet-in track bar adjustment, because he's been a little bit free through the right-handers. The 21 beating the 2 off pit road.
And Kelly, in the background, we can see the 4th Richard Childress car. The yellow car of Brandon Jones is on pit road. Here comes Sadler to pit road finally. The damaged car, well, been back on again up the hill. This is why fans love road course racing. It can be chaotic. It can be crazy. And even penalties can make things so much different. Daniel Hemrick in the 21 car leading comes to pit road. He's got a speeding penalty.
Yeah, and that's going to be hard to overcome at this point in time of the race. So just those mistakes that we talk about, you can't do those as a driver. You know, he's put himself in a great position and working that race now going away.
So Hemrick had the lead, came to pit road, sped.
It's like Cindric coming to pit road.
He will peel off and start the long uphill climb, as well. It looks like the 00 of Cole Custer. Brandon Jones, another driver who received a speeding penalty on pit road. He'll be back. Here comes Austin Cindric, Ralph.
Yeah, waiting for him to make his way up the hill, 40 miles an hour, calling him into his pit box. Still all that damage to the front. It actually split the nose from the upper to the lower. Doesn't appear to be any chassis changes, just Goodyear Eagle tires and Sunoco fuel here for the 22, Kelly.
Meanwhile, the young Christopher Bell, who's driving the 18 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, has also been called down to pit road. We've seen him go off-road a couple of times. Christopher Bell complaining about the brakes in his car and saying that, in fact, they seem to be getting worse. So a lot to handle on this tricky road course with his brakes not as reliable as they'd like. You see they're giving him a tear-off there. They're clearing off some grass from the front grille. He's going to get 4 fresh Goodyear tires as they pack them full of Sunoco fuel in what should be, if everything goes to plan, their last time to pit road. And now we see that the hose is stuck on this car. They've got to get the hose unstuck from the left wheel. They do. And now Christopher Bell's clear.
And Kelly, we saw that bright blue car of Daniel Hemrick coming through. He served his penalty on pit road and back out. And with all this pitting, Dale, the lead has been handed right there to the 51 of Jeremy Clements, the 32-year-old from South Carolina. Clements last pitted on lap 21. He'll have to be back, but for the moment, he's the leader.
Yeah, doing a nice job. We talked about how good he's done on these road courses. Doing it again today.
Let's take you NASCAR nonstop and be back for more green flag racing at Road America. You won't miss a thing. This fall, anywhere in the world, when Americans are at risk, one team brings them home. The Brave. Coming this fall on NBC. Sure you check that out. We're sure glad you're joining us this afternoon for Xfinity Series Racing at Road America. You didn't miss a thing in NASCAR nonstop. You saw Matt Tifft come to pit road. Brandon Jones in the yellow 33 had to serve another penalty for speeding during the penalty lap. And this is Parker Kligerman, our driver reporter, on pit road for what we would believe would be the final time.
Yep, driven up inside the top 10. It was actually 10th when he came on pit road. Just getting a couple of tires here. How about that?
Took on 2 lefts only. This track made up primarily of right-hand turns, so those left sides you can lean on a little bit. The rights become a little less relevant.
Let's see how that works out for him.
And joins the group again. Jeremy Clements has stayed on track in the 51. And if you know Jeremy, you know he loves to race. Grew up racing on the short tracks of South Carolina. Worked his way into the NASCAR ranks. And most recently, his most daring thing was jumping out of an airplane last summer to propose to his girlfriend Courtney. Presented the ring when they landed.
Which was the daring part.
She's now
just kidding.
And she's now his wife, so she said yes.
Yes. And well, she should. The man's going to go to that.
Hey, the best part of that story was Mom and Dad wanted to go too and didn't get to do it.
Yep.
So this summer they had a reprise of it, and Tony Clements and his wife Maria jumped with the happy couple.
Fantastic.
I know. Jumped out of a perfectly good airplane.
Yeah, I don't understand that, but good luck to all that do.
Good to see Jeremy running up front. He last pitted on 21. He'll have to come back to pit road again. That's the same situation for Michael Annett.
Outstanding run by these two, but I'm curious of their strategies now, though. I would think that you need to get to pit road before a caution comes out, because if the caution comes out, it wipes away all the things that you've worked hard, the position you've worked hard to get up. Is that Ryan Reed, I believe, has got a right front down.
Big time trouble for the Bakersfield, California driver. And he's off, and he's going to park it in the turn 5 area. It's a runoff area where if they are in trouble, can get back around to pit lane without having to go around the whole 4-mile road course. And that's where he should pop out. There he is now. And that's just before the final corner, turn 14. Brendan Gaughan is on pit road. Here's the strategy play, just as Ralph told us about earlier.
Yep. Here comes Brendan Gaughan to a stop. He was losing the rear tires at the end of that last run, so they took 1/10 of a pound of air out of the rear tires. He's also going to get something to drink. No major changes to the chassis outside of that air pressure adjustment. They are good to go.
And you can see their pit crew doing things a little bit differently. They went to that right side first. That's right there in front of them. We saw a number of teams in the Cup Series do this at Watkins Glen a little bit quicker if you make everything work, and they did there.
It keeps their first move, their instinctive move that they would do on an oval, pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same. And obviously getting there right there whenever the car stops helps them to be just a little bit faster. And as you said, keep them in sync. A lot of this is just about muscle memory and your mind knowing what you normally do and not having to change that.
Racing all around Road America. And the lineup and finding out where the last cars to have pitted are really the ones you want to keep concentrating on, as those who have fuel to get to the end will be racing for position from here on out.
Yeah, we'll see how this cycles out. Most of these cars that are up here inside the top 10 right now are cars that have not pitted since back around lap 21.
Ben Kennedy, the 2, pitted on lap 27.
We got Matt Tift and Austin Cindric up inside the top 10 now. And as these others cycle around and have to make their pit stops, this is actually going to be what looks like the battle for the lead.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, because lap 27 for Kennedy means he can get to the end. 45 will be the total distance here. We've already said about 18 laps is what you can do on fuel. Up in front of them,
yep,
a couple other cars we're looking at as well. Cole Custer has been off and on in pit road.
Yep.
And that was on lap 28, so he's good to go as well. And he's in front of the group we were just looking at.
Cole's done a nice job today, navigating through a couple of things that happened in front of him and around him. Had good strategy here as to when they got on pit road. They're right there. They came in a little bit early, and they're right there on that edge of being able to make it on fuel if this thing should go green.
That is how the top 5 look as we head back to NASCAR Nonstop. Saturday on NBCSN, the NASCAR Xfinity Series will be at Darlington Raceway to race the track Too Tough to Tame. Coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern on NBCSN. That'll be fun to watch. That is a challenging racetrack, and we've seen nothing short of that here today at Road America. 4 miles, 14 turns, and as you saw in NASCAR Nonstop, trouble at every corner if you're not careful, and that happened to Ben Kennedy. Gave up a number of positions in what we believe will be the lead group when all these front few pit for the final time.
You can see Jeremy Clements there still holding the lead. Michael Annett has closed in a little bit on him. Still doing a nice job out front. But as you say, Dave, they're going to have to hit pit road. They're going to need tires, but they're going to have fuel.
Cannot get to the end having pitted on lap 21. 4 miles around here. You can only go about 18 laps before you've got to fill it up again.
Yeah, and their only thing that may be thinking if they run long enough that there could a caution come in the next 3 or 4 laps, that might drag a lot of people to pit road to get tires because of how important tires are here. There's a lot of fall off after you get some laps on them, so that might be something that would work to their advantage by staying out here. They might as well now. They've kind of made their bed, so you might as well see what you can get out of it.
Now, if that scenario doesn't play, this would in fact be what we would call the battle for the lead. This is back in the pack. This is for the 8th position, but these are the first cars to have enough fuel to get to the end.
Yeah, Cole Custer had a nice lead of about 3 seconds on Matt Tiff and Austin Cindric here, but as you can see, the 19 and the 22 have run Cole Custer down.
Both of these drivers were in the earlier ARCA Series race here at the track, got some laps and some rhythm down before they started the Xfinity race. You can see where they last pitted on lap 28. Makes all the cars in front of them on that low fuel situation.
It'll be interesting to see if Austin Cindric gets there to Cole Custer. He had a little incident after they took the white flag, headed down into turn 1 in that ARCA race earlier. Battling for the lead at that time.
And as we found, you drivers have a long memory, even though that wasn't very long ago.
Yeah.
So Custer trying to hold off Tift, and he won't do it there. Goes wide in turn 5, and Matt Tift is going to get by for that position.
Yeah, when you start looking in your mirror at a high braking area, that's the worst mistake you can make as a driver, because you just get in there a little bit hot, and all you can do is just continue to slow the car down. Otherwise, you're going to slide further off the track and give up more time and more speed, or spin yourself out.
That's right. So Tift gets 8th. That dumps the 00 of Cole Custer back to 9th, and then here's Austin Cindric in 10th.
Just such an interesting group that's up there in front of these guys that still have, but you've got Justin Marks up there. Ryan Ellis, who we haven't seen run very much in the 07 car, is sitting up there in the 6th spot right now. Dakota Armstrong in 7th.
That's right. The front cars running: Clements, Annette, Cook, Marks, Chastain, Ellis, and Armstrong before this group. There's the 28 of Armstrong coming through your picture there. Driver from Newcastle, Indiana. A lot of representation this weekend, Dale, and when the strategies are flipped in different directions, a lot of opportunity to be up at the front of the pack and get yourself some publicity. It's a little airtime.
Hey, might as well. Yeah, absolutely.
And with the potential to make it work.
Yeah, you just never know what may happen because of circumstances. And again, tires making a large difference here.
Goes Armstrong to pit lane. Ralph, what's up with the 00?
Well, Dave, these tires have been going away on drivers all weekend long. We've been talking about that. Some guys are saying early on in practice, after just about 6 laps, they'd see 2.5 seconds going away on these cars. Well, we hear now that with Cole Custer, the car's getting tight, and those tires are going away.
As evidence, Cindric got by the 00.
Yeah, and you find yourself maybe overdriving when you're in that position. I'm sure they'd told him, hey, you're the lead. You're going to be the leader when these other cars pit. So he's trying to keep Matt Tiff and Austin Cindric behind him. So you kind of drive a little harder. All that's going to do as you brake more and get into the corners a little harder, try to carry more speed, is heat up the front tires. But he's done a nice job. Settle in there behind him. He either finishes 3rd possibly or gets a late race restart. He can make some things happen.
10 laps to go at Road America. We mentioned Dakota Armstrong coming to pit road, the first of that group on lap 20 or 21. Ryan Ellis is also on pit road as well. There goes Armstrong. So they're making their play here, but Clements holding out as long as he can in the lead. It's been 14 laps. Again, we think 18 is about the limit. And they should have their fuel mileage calculated.
Trouble there.
Wow. Off track there, the 16 of Ryan Reed, and that's the 2nd time this weekend. Now, Ryan's got it going again, but that 16 car is beat up. Let's see where Ryan got in trouble.
Way back before. Car's just not driving good. That's just a driver trying to get more than what the car's capable of with all the damage. Here's our leader.
Yep, and this is Jeremy Clements now saying, I can't wait any longer. I've got to bring the 51 to pit road. And so the leader gives it up. Slowly making his way down 40 miles an hour, the pit road speed here at Road America. And to his pit stall and the attention of his crew, Kelly.
And you could hear how anxious Jeremy Clements was to come to pit road a few laps ago. When he asked about it, he said he just had lost his rear tires. They had just completely gone away. So he was anxious to get 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Of course, some Sunoco fuel to top him off. No big changes for the 51, Ralph.
Well, the 11 is going to take fuel and tires on that car. They're going to clean the windshield off for him, pull off one of the tearaways there, and that's all the changes for Blake Cook on this stop.
So Blake will re-enter. That leaves Michael Annett and Justin Marks as those who have not pitted around since around lap 20 or 21. Marks on 20, Annett on 21. And Michael doing a good job today. Car is clean. He's stayed out of trouble. I don't know how you do that here, as much as we've seen back there, Dale, but somehow he's done it.
Yeah, there were plenty of opportunities, and we saw him in some pretty heated battles, but he did a nice job navigating his way through there, and they got themselves on a different strategy here, hoping that something might work out. But he's one of those drivers sitting back there around that cutoff, and so we'll see how this affects his end result here today, if indeed it works out for him to maybe gain a few more points, or if this strategy might work against him.
Yeah, that's right. He can't stay out and risk big here because it was 50 points to the good and in 11th position coming in. So he can't afford to have a horrible day, and a bad strategy call could do that. And we don't expect that. There's really a limit to how much they can push that here, given his situation. And coming off the final corner, this is going to be it. He's going to go ahead and head to pit road and get his fuel. So still waiting on Justin Marks to see what he will do. The 42 car, the last of the cars that need to come to pit road for fuel before the race is over. And here's Annett making the crawl to his pit stall. Back to you, Kelly.
Michael Annett now coming down to pit road. No adjustments will be made, but as you alluded to, not really the season that he had hoped for, especially with his teammates at Junior Motorsports 1, 2, and 3 in the regular season point standings. It's just going to be 4 Goodyear tires and fuel for Michael Annett, Ralph.
Well, the call is 4 tires and fuel for Justin Marks on what will be his final stops. Chip Ganassi Racing hoping to sweep their 3 races here at Road America this year. Scott Dixon won the IndyCar race, and it was Joey Hand and Dirk Bueller winning their category in the IMSA race here earlier this summer. Oh, and a flat left rear tire now on the 22 of Austin Cindric as he will limp his way up the pit road to the attention of his crew. They go to work on the driver's side of the car right now. They're going to have to physically help pull the car up off the ground to get the jack underneath, changing those left side tires, now sweeping around. They'll leave the rights on and back into the race he goes.
And you saw this near disaster coming to pit road. Here's where the tire was down already, or when he came off, DJ.
Yeah, it looked like that he had the issue right there, that it
affected the handling of the car, right?
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Cindric on and off of pit road. He's not the front runner or near the front anymore. Matt Tifft has that title as we go NASCAR nonstop. Welcome back to Road America. Let's take a look at today's Toyota driver update. And it's a good one for Matt Tifft. He leads the race, Dale.
Yeah, he sure does. Done a great job here all day. You can see J.J. Yeley there in 6th. Driver sitting outside that top 12, trying to work his way in there for the points. But Matt Tifft doing an outstanding job.
Tifft, you'll recall, last year was running a partial schedule for Joe Gibbs Racing. And when it was in progress, the driver of the 19 had to have some back surgery done, and when he went into the hospital, Matt was told, we found something different and something worse. We found a brain tumor, and they went to work on the youngster, and he recovered and came back to race late last year, but the real upside to it is now that he's been through that, he's been such an advocate to especially young people with the similar situation to get them to get things checked out. Actually, everybody, make sure you check it out. Oh, careful there, Matt.
Yeah.
And once you do have it checked out, take care of the situation the best you can. But he does a whole lot for brain tumor awareness and recovery if you've gotten into that situation. So good to see him leading today at a track where Joe Gibbs Racing has never won in the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, and certainly he wasn't someone we had our eye on coming into the day, but he's done a good job, been aggressive when he needed to be, but been very smooth most of the time. As you pointed out, Dave, such a great story. Just the opportunity that Joe Gibbs kept the seat open for him, and he's able to get here and doing a terrific job this afternoon. He's done a good job all year, just a learning curve that he's had to go through.
So Tift continues to lead with 6 to go at Road America. Meanwhile, behind him, Brendan Gaughan has 2 lap fresher tires, but the guy with the freshest tires has played his cards extremely well. Jeremy Clements is going to make the pass for second.
Yeah, he takes that away. He just the lap before he got racing with Brendan Gaughan here, and he does take that second spot away. He was 2 seconds faster than Matt Tift was.
Jeremy Clements has never won in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. His best finish is 4th. Oh, in trouble for the 17 of Nick Hammond.
This could be interesting, Dave.
See if Nick gets it started. If he cannot refire that car and get it out of there, which he will. And that will not bring out a full course caution, but might leave a little gravel there in Canada Corner.
I'm telling you, it still has possibilities of being very interesting. Jeremy Clements can catch the traffic at the right spots, and Matt Tift happened to catch someone that slows him down just a little bit in the wrong part of the racetrack. Jeremy Clements' tire's way fresher.
He's about 6 seconds behind Matt Tift at this point. There they're entering the final corner of the track, and you saw one of the slower cars up in front of the leader was the 17 of Hammond, who had just been off track, and he remains there. So you're right, Dale. Hit it at the wrong spot. That could slow the leader way down.
And with Clements coming at a second to second and a half quicker, this could time out to where he might get there just in time.
The difference is now under 6 seconds, about 5.5 from leader Matt Tift back to Jeremy Clements. We're going to get back to show you the full finish as you look at the top 10. We'll step away one last time for NASCAR Nonstop. Back at the Johnsonville 180, you saw the drama building as we were in Nonstop. Jeremy Clements closing on the 19 of Matt Tift, trying to win and get himself into the playoff. That's his only chance. Meanwhile, Tim Cowan in the 40 car got off in the kink and now rests in a vulnerable situation. The yellow has not come out yet, and Tim's been rocking the car trying to get it out of there, but it doesn't appear that the 40 is going to move with 3 to go as the leaders come by this time, Dale.
Yeah, he's pretty far off there as far as where the corner is and where most cars could go, but obviously you can get there. And he's got his car moving now, though.
Here he was braking, trying to get through the kink, and doesn't do it. Mild impact there, and has got the 40 moving. Meanwhile, up front, Matt Tift, and in the back of the picture, there's Jeremy Clements running him down.
Yeah, and this cost Matt Tift a lot of time in passing the lap car. You can see the 40 car here has got it rolling, so we're not going to have a caution from that. Just a matter if all the parts and pieces stay on this thing.
Cowan limping around now. He'll get back to the pit lane. But this is the race for the win. As they come to 3 to go, the black car up ahead, the 19 of Matt Tift and the 51 of Jeremy Clements.
Clements is able to get by the 24 here before they get down into turn 1. That would certainly help his cause a lot.
Playoff standings as they look right now, and you see nowhere is the 51 of Jeremy Clements. He's so far out he doesn't fit the graphic. Matt Tift comfortable in his points position, but Clements' only shot, Dale, to get to the playoffs
only shot
is a win.
Yep, Dave, you're exactly right, and he's doing everything that he possibly can. They played a strategy. I wasn't sure he could come out and have enough time to get back to the front with that, even though he had a huge lead before they made that pit stop. I just didn't think there would be enough speed and enough time to make this run that he has. But what a great drive by Jeremy Clements.
Matt Tift is the leader, the 21-year-old from Hinckley, Ohio. Raced recently at his home track in mid-Ohio. Didn't have the finish he wanted there. And coming to Road America, though, came with confidence and has led the latter portion of this race. But here comes Clements, Kelly.
And Dave, I can tell you it's been very quiet on the radio as the team has just let Jeremy Clements go to work. Although when he made that pass on the 24, Dylan Lupton, that was not for position, but they said, hey, you're all clear, go for it. And how about this for superstition? As they saw our little camera crew meander down to the 51 pit stall, they kind of shoot us off, said don't jinx us. I know what these race car drivers are like, Ralph.
Well, down here at the 19 with Tift, it's all good behind the wheel, except obviously those tires are getting old. They just keep trying to encourage him. Do your deal, hit your marks, drive forward. A little bit of a different feeling down here with us on the TV side of things, Kelly. It's been more of, hey, where you guys been all day? We've been running pretty good. I said, well, don't make me leave now.
Excellent point. Matt Tifft, the leader, runs for the Xfinity Series juggernaut of Joe Gibbs Racing. They win a lot. The car behind them, a family operation. Jeremy Clements' dad, Tony, is his crew chief. He's his car owner. He's his engine builder. They do it all, Dale.
Yeah, they do it all. This is what this series was built on back whenever it was the Busch Series and started in 1982. It was operations and organizations that were either family run or you had friends helping you. You did most of the work yourself, not the big organizations like he's racing against right there against Joe Gibbs Racing. He slows it down some more.
Good corner exit for Clements that time. Tifft a little bit wiggly. And now coming up on lap traffic. David Starr just in front of the 99. How does Tifft catch him? And what does that do for Clements?
Yeah, so far so good, but as he goes down to turn 3, he's going to want to get inside David Starr where he's got a good angle. That's going to slow him down, though. Clements going to be able to close in more.
Starr trying to give him enough room to race. Here comes Clements as they head down toward turn 5. Coming to 1 to go. Can Jeremy Clements close down and catch Matt Tifft?
Yeah, you just have to hold back now. Don't overdrive the car. Don't do something crazy. You've got yourself in a great position here.
Turn 5, heavy braking, shifting, turning left. Oh, what a great turn for Jeremy Clements. He's right on the bumper of Tifft.
Yeah, you see Tifft looking in the mirror, trying to make sure that he's setting up to make a block if he had to there going to turn 6.
More lap traffic just in front.
Clements' car is so much better with the rear tires. With those fresher tires, he's able to get a huge run off the corner. His thing now is just to be patient, wait till the right spot to make this move. Here it is.
Is this it? Down into turn number 8. No, he can't get it right. Tifft retains the lead.
That wasn't really a passing opportunity there, but he had such a run, he thought he would give it a try. Didn't cost him much.
Now through the carousel, not a passing zone either, coming toward the high-speed kink. Risky if you want to try it, but Clements may wait until turn 12. Here he comes down to the high-speed portion, and he'll have his sights set on Tifft.
Yeah, set up to get a nice run here. This is where you can make a big run. Get down here, try to outbrake. I think that he should wait to turn 1. He seems to be really good off of turn 14. See what he can do.
Down to Canada corner, Matt Tifft applying the brakes, doing the shifting, getting just a little bit wide. Here comes Clements. We thought Tifft had lost it. He does not. A good corner for the 19. The 51 just behind. Coming to the final corner of the track. Great run for Clements. Does he do it here? Takes a look. And diving down to the inside. Jeremy Clements now contact with Matt Tifft. They both spin. How far back is Michael Annett? Michael Annett was running 3rd. Tifft and Clements come together, coming to the white flag.
I think Clements is still going to have the lead.
He's got it righted. Jeremy Clements comes to 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. And there is Michael Annett. He was not close enough. He was about 10 seconds back in the 5 car, and he couldn't get there.
Does Clements have any damage to his tires, though, as he got off track?
Stephen Young with trouble. He'll get the 78 turned around. This is coming down to turn 5.
Clements has a huge lead, probably 20, 25 car lengths at least right now.
We began the day saying only a miracle would get certain drivers into the playoffs. Jeremy Clements was one of them. He's got the miracle in sight now. Can he keep it together? Mayhem in front of him. Other drivers, looks like tires coming apart. got to be on your mind as you're trying to win.
I don't know what I was going through his mind. He's never won one of these races. He's on a road course. This isn't what he grew up doing or has that much experience at.
Jeremy Clements' best finish was on a super speedway where you have the advantage of the draft at Talladega to work your way through the pack. Here at Road America, it was one man, one machine, and a great strategy call for fresher tires at the end that put Jeremy Clements to the front.
Yeah, right now he just has to hold everything together. Don't push the issue right now. You've got everything right in front of you. You've only got about 5 more corners that you have to make.
Heading out of the carousel. Clements down toward the kink. He's got to get this one right.
Yeah, I'm sure they've told him he's got a nice lead. Don't push the issue.
Nice and smooth through the kink. Now lap traffic ahead. Coming down to the Canada corner and turn 12. Good smooth right-hander for Clements. Keeps the 51 looking solid. Next car back, Tift, is not within sight. It's just up to Clements now to take it home with lap traffic, his only barrier between himself and his first victory in the Xfinity Series. Through the final corner, Jeremy Clements has made it. Just a couple of lap cars in front, but the 32-year-old from Spartanburg, South Carolina, has found his way into the playoffs by winning at Road America. Unbelievable finish for the 51 team and Jeremy Clements. We've seen the spin and win in the past, Dale.
Yeah, that takes it to another level there, Dave. I'd have to say.
I think he added to it.
255 starts before his first win, which is a Xfinity record.
Look at the joy of the 51 team on pit road. They know they've won. They know they've locked themselves in for the first time to the Xfinity Series playoffs. They cannot believe it. And the drivers on the bubble could not have been happy about that, because that pushes one of them out for sure, Matt Tift.
Yeah.
Not happy about the way that Clements got the lead.
Hey, it's racing for the win. You know, we've seen it happen. And, you know, we came here expecting kind of the unexpected, because we really thought this was going to be a race in the rain and it could be up for grabs totally. Never did we think of this happening. I'm sure that Jeremy Clements came here just thinking it'd be a good day for a good solid run, maybe get some points towards trying to get into the playoffs. But now he has that spot.
And we've talked to him before. Oh, look at this. What a moment for the team. So proud and yet so very thankful. That's Tony, and the gray hair with the glasses right there, and the beard on the left, that's his dad. And he'll be one of the first to victory lane to excitedly greet his son, who is now a winner in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Yeah, that's right. Brendan Gaughan says, "You are the man."
Yeah.
And
Brendan
he should
understands.
Know. Yep.
Yeah. Happened to him right here just a few years ago to get that first win.
A lot of congratulations. We say it a lot, Dale. NASCAR loves a first-time winner, and it's because so much goes into it. And he came in here with a lot of confidence, but still everything had to go right. Decisions had to be made, and that driver had to keep it under control.
And he did a great job there. Yeah, there was contact, but you know what you have to do in a situation like that? There's so many things as you're spinning, as he was trying to make the right moves, do the right things, put him and Matt Tift in a compromising position, but he kept his car going. He got it headed in the right direction and was able to go on and win. You see the respect that they have. Everybody in this garage area knows what this driver and this team, they don't have the 400 people that are at Joe Gibbs Racing. You know, this is a very small, as you mentioned, family-run organization. Jeremy is there every day working on the race car, and everybody in this garage area understands that, and they're extremely happy for him and his family.
Got married in the off-season, and now is going to have a big shiny trophy.
Just a great story. Again, this is what this series was built for, is opportunities like this. And, you know, these days only come around every so often. But, again, to spin, get it righted, and then keep it the engine running, not letting it die, was the key there at the end. Great strategy they played, though.
They really did.
And aggressive driving. I mean, he went after it. I mean, he knew that he had those tires there. Wasn't sure he could make up that much time, but he did everything right.
Now you see the crew, they made their way down near the start-finish line. The victory burnouts for Jeremy Clements. His first time doing this as well.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of great stories, but I'm not sure that there's one that I can remember, Dave, that you think about everything that they put forth. They don't ever have a lot of sponsorship. They do with what they put every dime back in the car to make it week to week and do the things that they do. And now they're going to be a part of the playoffs.
I do have to wonder if his car owner, father, engine builder said burn it down, or let's respect this thing. The joy, the relief. These guys work hard throughout the week. I know there's some volunteers on that team that aren't getting paid a lot of money. And to see Jeremy bring them a checkered flag and a trophy back to South Carolina, that's worth a lot. As you enjoy the moment with Clements, keep this in mind. Michael Annett came home second. That is his career best finish. Matt Tifft was the third-place driver and tied his best finish of third in his young career.
Our own Parker Kligerman came home with a top 10. Did a nice job after starting 39th today.
You don't give up, do you?
No.
I mean, it ebbs and flows in road course racing especially. And he's got a little bit of a predicament here. Victory Lane is on the other side of that wall, so he's getting some instructions on what the quickest way is to get to Victory Lane. Here's how he got to it today. A spin and win coming down to the final corner before the last lap. A little contact to the back of Tifft, but then coming here, Jeremy Clements sticks the nose of the 51 in there. He's more than halfway up. They both spin. The big question was, where's the third place car of Annett, and can he get there? Clements was the first to fire, and he goes to take the white flag and then hold it together for the checkered flag. And you said it, Dale, coming to the end of the race, you're going for the win.
Yeah, I mean, he's never won before. This was his great opportunity there. You can see he got loose trying to get into to turn 14 there and got into the side of the 19.
And there he is taking the checkers. I'm sure somewhat in disbelief. There's his crew, the joy and the celebration. Clements' first win in his 256th try. And it'll be one to remember and one for the ages in the NASCAR Xfinity Series as the underdog comes home the winner from Road America. We'll be back to talk to him when we return. Welcome back to Road America. Let's head right down to Victory Lane and join Kelly Stavist.
And you can imagine the crew literally came running from their end of pit road to come celebrate with Jeremy Clements. It's a water and Gatorade bath that they all deserve to share in today. And what a moment there. Well, Jeremy, oh my God, it took 256 starts, but to be standing here now, how worth the wait was it?
I don't even know what to say. I'm just shocked. I mean, this is a car built in 2008. Everything we got is old and used. I just can't believe it. I'm just, it's like, is this real? I just got to thank Brad from RepairableVehicles.com, all my guys, my dad, Danny Gill. I mean, it's a total team effort, and I'm just so happy. It's pretty neat to win at Road America. It's one of my favorite road courses, and I want to say sorry to Matt Tifft. I definitely didn't mean to spin him out there. I got in there hot, and he just kind of came down. I was there, and we collided. But man, I'm so shocked. But I want to say hi to my wife Courtney at home, and my mom, and Bill and Tina, and thanks Spars Car Wash and everybody on this car. Repairable Vehicles, Circle Body Shop, Flounder, Carolina Driveline, everybody. So all South Electric, BRT Extrusions. But thank you so much. Thanks to Xfinity Racing for all they do. Hopefully everybody got see everything on the Xfinity One app, I'm sorry I'm out of breath because I'm shocked. I didn't even know what to do. So, woo!
You beat out all the juggernaut teams, and this win now puts you into the playoffs. How significant is that for a small team like this?
My gosh, it's crazy. I mean, we're spending our budget a year is a fraction of a big team. So this is just a dream come true. I mean, I want to drive for a big team, but it hasn't been the way it's gone. And, you know, I try to keep doing this to keep my name out here and get as much experience as I can in case I ever do get the call. But, hey, any big team guys, look at me. Let's go. So just thank you. I got to thank my dad, my Uncle Glenn, and all of them, my family. They're the ones that keep me here in this thing. I mean, without them, I wouldn't be here.
Jeremy, I'm going to ask you to go back to that move on Matt Tifft that you talked about earlier in 14. Why did you pick that spot there to make the move?
Well, I'm watching the replay there. Well, I was really beating a lot of people right there. I could really get in that corner the last corner a lot deeper. Yeah, that's my fault. That was definitely not his fault. Now watching the replay, I got in there and got loose up under him trying to keep off of him, but I'm very sorry to him. Thanks, buddy.
Good job, man.
Thank you. Very sorry to Matt. I definitely didn't mean to wreck him, but I've definitely had the better car in my opinion, but hats off to those guys. I mean, that's the Gibbs team. That's the best of the best. So to be faster than them at the end was pretty dang cool.
That was Justin Marks, by the way, that came over to congratulate him. And now, congratulations to you. I'll let you go celebrate with your family.
Thank you guys so much. Hope everybody enjoyed the show.
Oh, we did. We did, Jeremy. And that last statement of his, how cool to have beat the big guys.
Yeah, that's what they say. You know, they don't set out to beat them. They don't think they have that chance. But opportunities present themselves at certain times, and that young man made the most of his opportunity today. Look at that.
Well. Welcome Jeremy Clements to the playoff picture. He is now fourth with that win. That pushes Dakota Armstrong out. Brendan Gaughan had a strong enough day to hang on. Michael Annett as well, but they are only 4 and 11 points above that cut line, Dale.
Oh, this is getting right down to the end. Got a couple of opportunity racetracks coming up, too, so a lot of things can continue to change in these next 3 weeks.
Remember, the late Benny Parson always said, why do I watch the race to the checkered flag? Because I want to see who wins. And if you watch today, you might not have known until the final couple of corners. And now you know that Jeremy Clements joins the playoffs for the Xfinity Series. And well worth the wait, as he said. 3 races to go. However, it's not been decided for the rest of the field, but for Jeremy, today is his day. The victory burnouts on the start-finish line. We'll come back to wrap things up from Road America. As we welcome you back to Road America and the Victory Lane celebration ongoing for Jeremy Clements. Dale Jarrett, I'm going to say that's probably a moment that you just wish would last forever.
Yeah, you don't ever want it to go away. Getting that first win is something really, really special, and do it at a historic place like this makes it even more so. And you get a playoff berth.
It's big news. Could have been a win for Matt Tifft as well, though, but he was on the losing side of that, Ralph.
He was, Dave, but he's been extremely gracious, and I can't tell you how tough it's got to be for him, because literally 5 feet over there is Victory Circle, and he's hearing all the whoops and the cheers and seeing all that go down. And in your mind, I know you were watching the replay of what went down over in turn 14. Now, I will tell you that Jeremy said he takes all the blame. Wasn't his desire to take you out like that. Does that make it any better, or is it just make it a little tougher?
Well, I mean, obviously, no matter what, it's tough. You know, you could see there he got a little bit free underneath me, and you know, I wish we could have raced it out to the last lap. We were really struggling on old tires. I don't know if he had newer tires there, or he was just had a lot of speed there at the end. But we were struggling in some of the braking zones, just getting some wheel hop and stuff. But our Dragon Alliance camera was awesome today. They called a great strategy. Man, it's just it's tough to come that close, but we'll keep knocking on the door. It's all we can do. But you know, we'll just keep plugging along. It's all we can do.
I've been with you since you crawled out of the car here this afternoon, and I've watched you go up and down through a roller coaster of emotions. Furious, seething, kind of calming, trying to take it all in. You got the playoffs ahead of you now. How do you take all of this and turn that into something you can feed off of?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is that I know as a team from here, here in Mid-Ohio and some other runs we've had like at Iowa, we can do this, and we can go get wins, and we can go compete for that championship. Obviously it's still good to get out of a third place out of this, but man, you want the first win so bad. It's just so close to it, and obviously you're furious at first for being taken out, but then you just gotta be able to put it behind you and move on. Like I said, our guys did a great job today, and it gave me a great car and gave me a great strategy to go off with. So we'll just keep plugging along, and like I said, and it sucks, but we'll get a win here soon.
Today it might have been older tires that were your nemesis ultimately. But as you look at yourself and the team and what's ahead of you the rest of the season, what is the one thing you think will make the difference that you guys have really going right now that will get you that win and maybe who knows what at the end of the year in Miami?
I think the biggest thing is we've had to fight through so much adversity this year. We've had a lot of challenges, and we're getting stronger and stronger as a team. It's just you want to be able to keep building on that and be able to finish out races where we need to be. So taking losses like this where it really hurts and be able to put a performance where someday it will fall our way is what we need to keep focused on, and it's all you can do.
Well, thanks for waiting here with us. I'm pretty sure you just earned yourself a few fans out of all of that. Dave, here's the one thing I would tell you about it. It was very similar. The only thing I could put into my mind was when you watch the end of the Super Bowl. There's one team celebrating as the confetti is falling, and there's a lot of guys on their knees. And that was Matt today. But a lot of those other teams tend to take that as encouragement going into the next season, and I think he's going to do that.
Very well composed young man for sure, Ralph. And DJ, you see the bubble picture there. You've been pursued like him at the end of the race before. What's that like?
Yeah, that's a tough situation. You're trying to get that first win. You've put yourself in that situation. As he said, he's continued to improve. I didn't know that I could have any more respect and admiration for that young man, but that interview right there certainly gave me even more. And you can see right now he's above the cutoff line in good shape, but there's still a lot of racing and a lot of points to be settled there. And who's going to get that 12th and final spot?
Michael Annett hopes it will be him. He is to the good right now and had a strong run today, Kelly.
Yeah, it was a runner-up finish, in fact, for Michael Annett. Michael, a great strategy call to help put you in that position, but ultimately you finished it off. How did you get it done today?
First off, we had a guardian angel riding with us this whole weekend. Lost not only a great friend, a great guy, and a great mechanic, but Adam Wright, we lost him Sunday night, so I just want to say hi to Pete and Terry back home. He was with us every lap we turned this weekend, and it was hard to fill the void that Adam left because he did the work of so many and kept everybody's spirits up, the whole weekend and at the shop as well. So he was riding with us this whole weekend. So we missed it by one to get him a win, but these guys at Junior Motorsports gave me a great car. Learned all day. Hadn't been here in 5 years, or actually 8 years. So wait, no, 5. So can't do math anymore. But I guess that's why I didn't call the fuel strategy or tire strategy either. So, but just a great weekend for everybody. Hendrick Engines back home, Allstate Parts and Service Group coming on board this weekend up here in Wisconsin. So great run for us, and just hope Adam knows this was for him and we miss him.
Well, on one hand, such a great finish for you to get that runner-up, but on the other, you've got a new winner in Jeremy Clements, so that mixes up the playoff strategy. So with a few races left ahead, you saw how close it is. What's your approach?
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for the way our playoffs are, this is the guy I would love to run second to. They've done so much for this series on a shoestring budget. To see them in victory lane and hear them cheering over there is awesome, but just means we got our work cut out for us. We're in, I think, 11th in points right now. We just need to do what we've been doing these past couple weekends and go to Darlington. We our organization won there last year, so we should have a good book of notes, and we'll just finish off the regular season strong and do our jobs, and points will take care of themselves.
I know at times this season I've checked in with you, you're a little bit frustrated, especially seeing the speed out of your teammates, but to come away with a runner-up finish here, how does this team now build on it over the next few?
Yeah, the biggest thing is you and I've talked quite a bit about, I got to start qualifying better. We've lost so many segment points because of where we qualify, so that's one thing we're going to focus on these next few races before the playoffs, and getting that rhythm of starting in the top 10, because that's what you're going to have to do to win this championship. And right now, yeah, our goal is to get in the playoffs, but our goal going into Daytona in February was a championship.
All right, well, great effort today. Thanks so much, Michael.
All right, thank you.
Michael's career best was certainly worth witnessing this afternoon, as was this guy's career best. The celebration goes on for Jeremy Clements at Road America.